Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and we got ourselves another product by OREI for me to review. This is a 4K 60 frames per second 4x1 multi-view. So we've done other reviews like this before with other products, but this is a 4K version. Let's open it up, see what it's like, hook it up to a couple of devices, and let's just see what you get with it. Alrighty, so again, want to thank the wonderful people at OREI. They've sent me quite a few things over the years, and hey, this one I actually gave them the wrong address, and this was actually delivered to the gas station across the street. So they were like, I don't know who this is. Thankfully, I was able to get it from them. So anyway, we got the device here. So we open this up here. You know, so as you can see, we have actually let's zoom in a little bit here so you can see the connections here. Hopefully we can get in focus. There we go. So we have ourselves a RCA out, we have optical out and HDMI out, so that's cool. So we can actually extract some audio here. You have 4 HDMI ins. You do have a RS-232 connection and IR extension. So if you were trying to control something, you can put an IR blaster in this end and hook it up to the other end. And then you have DC 12 volt power. Let's switch it around here and zoom out just a little bit here. So we have our auto input, I don't know what that button is, resolution, and then we have our light ups and power right there. All right, let's zoom out some more here so we can get some more room. All right, so we have a remote. There's our RS-232 adapter if you were hooking up wires old school. We have our power brick. Got our manual, which I am going to look through so I can understand what all those other buttons are. A registration card. We have little mounts that I've used these before, so you can hook these to the sides right there, on the bottom, excuse me. And you can connect this and screw it into like a frame or a rack or wherever this is going. Got your power adapter. Again, this is US only. So I believe depending on where you order this from, it comes with other adapters for you. So, and then this is the RF so that you could send this and it will send out. I thought it would have had a receiver that goes on the other end, but I don't know. I didn't see that inside of the box at all. So I have a bunch of cameras here. I got my Canon over here. I have my Sony here. I have my 2 Sonys here, and I'm gonna figure out another one. I think I got another camera. I don't think it's gonna be 4K, but I wanna see what this looks like. So let's go ahead, get everything set up so we can show you what it all looks like. Alrighty folks, so we got everything set up. I finally got 4 devices set up, as well as getting my ATEM to be able to view the multi-view output from the OREI. So right now we have a Sony camcorder hooked up. I have my micro cinema camera. I have my Sony EV10, and I have my iPhone with an HDMI out being connected to it. So let me actually move over to the desk so that way we can actually see what's going on. Alrighty, so as you can see, this is the multi-view output that's coming from the OREI. Yay, we got, see, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and then we got the iPhone right there as well too. So pretty slick, just like the other one, works really well. And then now hopefully y'all can see with this going in, if I change one of the buttons here in the front, that will change the output of the multi-view. So I'm gonna just tap it once, it's gonna start cycling through. So we got 1 here, then we just have just a single input, and then we can pick. So that's on input number 1. So if I change the input here, I can cycle to each one. And now I hope you notice that there is no like the static kind of hard change that other ones would give you when you're switching. Normally there's like a sync issue and you would see it fizz for a second, it'll come back. Now, if you needed to, this could be, now I remember when I started at Antioch, they had like a VGA switcher that they used to change all of the inputs from the cameras to the projectors. So, and there was a noticeable sync jump when you actually hit the input, like you see me changing right now, this fluid and moving back and forth. Now, if money was tight, you could use this as your switcher. And then it does have a remote, which I didn't show, that you could switch this remotely like that. So actually take that piece out. So we have our inputs. Let's see, that's number one. So yeah, the same way. So I'm changing this here so I can go to different inputs. And you could possibly use that if you wanted to. Would I do it? No. But if this is all I had and this was the only budget that I had, then this is a good option, especially the fact that it's not doing any of that hard changing that typical switchers would do. And when I'm talking about that, try and change your input on your TV and it doesn't it doesn't change as smoothly as this when you're going from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 5 or your Blu-ray player or your regular TV or your Chrome stick or your Fire TV, whatever. So anyway, I'm going to do everything from the remote here as well too. So we have back to the button for changing the layout of the multi-view. Let's tap that again. So now we have kind of like an overlay with one in the back. Let's switch it again. We got two here. And if we change this, trying to see how I can change which input is. I think that's going to be the menu, but let's cycle back through here. And I want to get to all of my cameras again. And there we go. All right, so now we also have a menu button here. Let's see. All right, and good Lord, I can't see that. So I'm gonna have to look at this other one. So as you can see, the problem I was having originally is the resolution that I had. Defaultly, it outputs at 4K. You have to hold down the resolution button on the front and it will change the resolution on here. So let's see if I can actually press it and actually change the resolution here. Let's change it to 1080p because that's what I have the ATEM set to. Okay, good. So yeah, so now we're at 1080p 60, which is the default native setting that I have on the ATEM. So cool. Should have just went through using the remote. But anyway, let's go back to the menu here. You have your, what is that? That's your back screen. What's the default of what will happen when you have the settings on here? So let's go down to the next one. There's your modes so that you can set the individual ones for each input that you have on here. Let's go down again. There's your audio. So audio, do you want to accept audio coming in through the inputs? Again, I have cameras. You could use that. So if you were using this in some type of switcher that you want to send audio to the TVs that you're connected to, that's how that would work. And then let's go down one more. And then we have our language, our electronic definition. I forgot what that stands for, the acronym. I'll put it down below. But pretty much that's the handshake of being able to say what ID is what. And a lot of OREI devices allow you to set, bypass that handshake and push a specific resolution to certain devices. Honestly, some of the earlier stuff that OREI did was really great when you had to hook up to Blackmagic stuff that wanted a specific resolution, like if you wanted to hook up like a PlayStation or something like that and it's looking for that HDMI handshake with some other stuff, they used to have stuff that worked around that. Not saying that included with this, but let me get back to my menu here. And let's go back to the bottom again. And tells the firmware version, how to reset it, and our baud rate. So that's for the RS4 I forgot it that fast. Yeah, the RS232 connection. That's what that is for. So really slick. And again, a lot of times when I see stuff like this and my battery on my camera just died. So that one has died. So that's why that menu went down. I just got back from in town, so I should have changed the battery out. But anyway, so the question again is, when and where could I see this being used? if money was tight and you weren't able to do like a switcher or something like that, you could use this mainly because there's no jarring jump between inputs. And it can be a seamless, smooth transition if you have multiple cameras. Again, another good idea for this is say that you're using some type of security cameras, or honestly, you have camcorders that you have setting around and you're doing a makeshift kind of security camera system. This would be a great option for that, and the fact that it supports 4K and it can scale down anything less than 4K, it can still be shown. I think this is a good option that will give you some kind of future growth. Again, realize you only have 4 inputs with it, but again, hey, if you want something that you can hook up to a screen so that you can see everything out and you have different types of HDMI connections, this will be a good option. And y'all know I talk from a ministry standpoint. If money was tight and you wanted to have some type of multi-view that would allow it to hook up to a overflow area or inside a sanctuary, because again, I can hook up a computer to this as well too, presenter, pro presenter, whatever, and output what the audience would see, the congregation would see. This will work the exact same way. So link is down below if you're interested in getting one of these. And OREI, thank you so much. We've been partnered for a few years now, and y'all always have some great stuff. Thank you so much for the opportunity to even be able to check this out. And I think I already said it, but links down below if you're interested in getting one. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, that way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.